Welcome to Working Title microKnight Devlog 4 Animation Part 2. I'm trying something new today. This will be a little bit more informal video where I walk you through my Blender to Godot workflow for animation. So in Blender, basically I have this rigged character. I'm using the Rigify human rig and then converting that to a game rig using Game Rig Tools add-on. You can get that from CGDive, and also CGDive's videos in general are a great resource for learning how to do this yourself. A couple of the things that I wanted to do weren't really covered there, so I guess maybe that's what I'll try to focus on today, but in general, these are a really good resource for animation in Blender, and then also for converting those animations into something that a game engine can use, such as Godot. So I have animations in here that are rigged using my Rigify rig. And let's see, for example, this run forward animation, or run right, run left, run backward. So I have right now 4 directions that I can blend in engine. I have some attack animations. And then there's one other thing that I do, which is using the blending thing from the NLA tracks. So I can add an animation such as blocking to another animation, and then I have to bake those inside of Blender before I try to change it to the game rig tools and such. If you want more detail about that, let me know. I'd be happy to make another video about that. So basically you have your animations in your control rig from Rigify, and then we need to bake those onto your game rig, which is a much simpler rig intended to be used for something like Godot. So if I switch over to my game rig here, you can see that it just has the deform bones now, and it's much simpler. In this game rig tools, you select which animations you want from the NLA track, this area down here, and on your Rigify rig. And then when you hit Bake Action Bakery, it'll create all of these animations that you've selected. Once you do that, you select what you want to export. So I'll select my game rig and the meshes related to it. File, export, GLTF, and then we're only going to include the selected objects. And then inside of animation, I don't generally change any of these settings, but I do use the action filter, and I only select the animations that I've created for the game rig, because I don't want the animations that are bound to the control rig from Rigify. After that, I hit export, GLTF, that gives me a Godot file, a GLTF file that I can add to Godot. So in Godot, I have this GLB file that I exported from Blender, and you can create a new inherited scene from it. This is what it would look like. I've already added some other things to it for my game, but this is what it would look like if I create an inherited scene from it. And then your animation player will show all of your animations from Blender. The way I've done it is saved all of those animations into this animation folder when they're imported. And then that allows you to potentially reuse those animations across multiple characters. I don't know everything about that right now, but if people are interested in learning more about that, I'm planning to do it again in the future. So let me know, and I could cover that. And basically you can see here, these are the standard animations, and then I've created this library, Save Tonight Animations, that has all of those animations that are resaved as individual files. And then that library can then just be loaded, Save Tonight Animations resource right there. And I could create a new character and just load all these animations, and they would be shared between those. And then it's also easy to, let's take like the swing attack, for example, add function calls to those animations so that when I get to a specific point in the animation, I can tell it that I want to call this function, or at the end, we call a function telling it that we've finished the attack. That's just for debug right now. I don't think that's a great way to tell your game that you're finished attacking. I've run into some issues right now with that, but it's not the point of this video. So once you have your animations on your animation player, then I've created this animation tree that actually handles like the logic of how your character transitions between animations. So I have blend spaces for running, walking, and walking while blocking. And then a timescale so I can speed up the animation. It was a little bit fast the way I animated it, so I've slowed it down a little bit. And then this blend, for example, let me transition between running and walking. Walking set to idle right now, but I can move it forward. This is what walk blend space looks like. And then if I wanted to add the block, I can just change this. I also have to change these values at the same time if I'm doing that. But you can see how I can easily transition between different states here of walking and running and blocking. And right now you can't block while you run. I have my attacks set up as one-shots. I'm not sure if this is the best way to do this right now, but basically I just select one of these saved animations, hook it up to a one-shot, and then when I fire it, it happens. I have these set up as legs and no legs being influenced right now. The idea being that if you're not moving around or if the animation locks you in place, then I want it to animate the legs. So you could see like in this swing animation, for example, the legs do have some animation associated with them, but if you're walking while you swing, we don't want to influence the legs. And that's set up using these filters. Oh, it's changed in 4.3, interesting. This, I'm probably going to change the way I'm doing this in the future. I'm still not sure which animations I want to have lock in place or not, but for now it works. It's just not super expandable for the future, so I'm probably going to invest more time in this after I'm done with my prototype. And then, yeah, if I load up the game, you can see what it looks like right now. So this is my character right now. Feels a little bit too high of detail. Oh, great, everything's invisible. 1 second. Okay, back into it. Character is invisible this time. So I have walk animations, change the direction, you can start blocking. My attack definitely needs new attack animation. This one's pretty janky, but it's working. Animations are from Blender to Godot, and yeah, the workflow is pretty good, and I'm still terrible at animating, but at least I'm figuring out the tools. So thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to answer them in the comments or make another video about them if needed. And yeah, thanks for your support. I'll see you later.